You are. Here's a squatting exercise that I use to help people to find the perfect position before they make the drive. This is important because you don't want to waste any energy not being quite perfectly placed every rep, because by the end of a set, you could run out of energy because you lost and wasted energy you didn't have to. And that adds up set after set. And the most productive reps of your training session arguably are the last reps of your last set. And if every rep you're a little off, if you're not perfectly placed, each rep of each set leading up to those big payoff reps, you might not get them. I mean, why not save the energy if you don't have to use it? And I've seen a lot of people just go down and come up wherever. So I use this to teach people exactly where to be before they make the press. Now, I also see people, not coaches especially, not paying enough attention to the descent of a squat. You should steer that position. You should place your body into perfect position at the bottom so that you're in the perfect position to make the drive. If you're off just a little bit, you're wasting energy. And I don't see a lot of coaches teaching the descent as much as they put a lot of emphasis on the ascent, pressing back up, but they just let their athletes fall with gravity. And sometimes they fall in just the right place, but not every time. And so this is an exercise that I use to help take that perfect position and put it subconsciously. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to have her come and sit up on a regular squat right here. And what she's going to do simply is get a perfect setup, 3-step drop, and now she's going to go down and pause. And she's going to feel that perfect position. This is where she should be driving from. Now, on purpose, she's going to consciously go a little right. And that feels bad, that feels wrong, it's not right. And then she's going to fix it, put it perfect. And she's going to go a little bit left. And then she's going to fix it. Now it's perfect, drive up, boom. Another one. Go down. It's perfectly placed. She's in perfect position. But now she's going to wreck it on purpose. But then she's going to fix it on purpose. She's going to memorize this position. Wreck it a little bit this way. Fix it perfectly. And then drive. And a couple more. Go ahead and do a few more of those. And what this does is this ingrains her position, that she's every time she's doing it right, she's memorizing that position. So she's going to go down, perfect squat form. That's where she would press from, but let's wreck it a little bit. No, let's fix it. Let's wreck it a little bit. Let's fix it. And then drive. And don't drive until you know it's in the right position. So squat down, feel it go off, and it doesn't have to go a long ways. You don't have to go way off, just a little bit so that you know, and drive. Yeah, one last one, thank you. Just one last one. It doesn't have to be a big, although that's a good exercise too, but just a little shift and you know you're wrong. You're just homing in. Okay, rack it up. Good. You're just homing in on where that rightness is. Set this down. So you don't need to do this exercise your whole career, but it's important to do it at the beginning of your career. It's important to know where your leverages are and where your sweet spot is for making this huge energy expenditure to make a huge squat. If you don't know where it is, this will help you find it. This will help you hone in on it. I don't think you need to do much of this later in your career, but if you haven't done this a little bit, I suggest you do. Just to test yourself to see if your squat form and your home base is as ingrained as you think that it is. You probably think you're going to the same spot every time, but have you ever checked it? Have you ever asked yourself, or have you ever tested yourself to see if you go to the same bottom point? Because that's the beginning of your press. And the squat is a press, it's a leg press. That's the beginning of your whole thing. The whole thing hinges on that quite a bit. So if you're off a little bit, this will help you fine-tune that so that you're not off. And if you do it and you find out, yeah, I'm dead on, good for you. You got good form and you got good control. And if you don't, you know what to work on. And you only have to do this a little bit. This isn't a long-term exercise. Although, having said that, it's a hell of a good exercise because it's an elongated pause, and you can do it with quite a bit of weight, and it gets you very comfortable with being down in the hole. A lot of people are afraid of the hole. They get in, they get out, and they don't want anything to do with it. Well, people that do a lot of this, a lot of pause squatting, a lot of staying down there, they have the support. That's not the hardest part. The hardest part is somewhere where the sticking point is. But a lot of other people who haven't spent a lot of time down there, the hardest part is the bottom. They have trouble getting out. They don't want to go all the way into the hole. They cut it short because they haven't spent enough time down there. So this can be a very good exercise to get you confident up here that I'm fine with being in the hole. The hole doesn't scare me. I train that way. And not all the time, but sometimes. So use it as a test. You get in there and see if you can do this and feel what I'm talking about. If you're starting out, use this to help you find your groove. And if you want to build more confidence in the bottom, use it as a training device. So all those three things can be helpful to you to make this a subconscious thing, to know if I'm off a little bit, I can fix it in real time. And I can make my press in the place that has the best chances for success for that rep. Plus, rep after rep after rep, on those last reps, I still have some energy left because I didn't blow it on being a little wobbly or a little loose or a little sloppy at that bottom position. So I hope you try it, and I hope it helps you. Thanks for listening.